The Boston Bruins lose 5-1 at home to the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I think they've officially hit rock bottom with regards to performance. At the time of this recording, the coach hasn't been fired, but I truly think it's coming. As always, I will cover the highs and lows of the Boston Bruins game from the night before, but I have a feeling this will be more lows in this video, so you've been warned. Buckle up, Bruins fans. I'm here to give you the latest info on your beloved Boston Bruins. If you've been liking my Bruins content, please leave me a like and subscribe. If you've already done so, thank you, and let's get into it. Going into this game once again, everybody on this Boston Bruins team is saying the right things. They're playing a team that on paper and in the standings is worse than them. Montgomery, though, before the game, delayed announcing a starter to play some mind games, I guess, but let's be honest, Swayman wasn't good enough against Dallas and really shouldn't have been playing. Montgomery, before the game, announced Peak is back in the lineup, and the Bruins have called up Jeffrey Veal to add some energy into the lineup. I'll let Montgomery tell you about it.
When he was here over the summer, what kind of stuff?
Well, I mean, I can only judge training camp. I think he only got here after like the 10th of September, I believe. But, you know, unfortunately, he pulled an oblique muscle, I want to say the third day of camp. So he didn't get in, and I don't know if he was clearly 100% when he played the games against LA, and I think we went to Washington. But he's a guy that you know what you're going to get. You know, he's a hard player to play against. He has an offensive touch in and around the net. He has scored over 20 goals in the American League, and he's someone that you know, has real good energy. That's what I remember on the bench, is someone that there's an excitement to him to play the game.
Goaltender for tonight?
I'm going to go with Swayman tonight.
Castellic out?
Yeah, Castellic not available today. We are very hopeful for Thursday.
How important is it to continue, obviously, look to just get on that, roll, string together 3 or 4, really sort of, get that going, that rhythm going?
It's really important. I mean, it's the only way you're going to have success night in, night out in this league, is if you check well, number one, and number two, that you make people defend, for extended periods of time.
How much can inserting a guy like VL to the lineup focus everybody else, because he brings a certain toughness and edge to the game?
I mean, we're hopeful that that's going to happen, right? That it's going to bring more energy on our bench, more people to like that. The energy from someone that comes in and has a smile on their face, and it's like Christmas morning, a kid walking in, that's infectious. If you come back to the bench and you're slumped over like that, what do you think it does to you? What does it do to you? Your kid comes home and looks like the dog died. How does it make you feel? Right? You go, oh, what's wrong? Your kid comes home and he's bouncing off the wall and he's telling you about how he scored 8 points in his basketball at recess. Yeah, tell me about the 4 hoops. It's infectious. That's what we need.
Is Peak available?
Peak is playing tonight.
What do you expect to see out of Columbus?
Really good offensive team. Really good. They got defensemen, 4 defensemen that get up and go. Led by number 8. Really good. And they're young, but they go hard to your net. They forecheck hard. I think they're a reflection of what their head coach has brought there. He's a really good coach, someone that gets his players to think attack mindset, and they play hard. They're young, so they're vulnerable in areas.
So I want to start off with the addition of Veal to the lineup, because that wasn't a coach's decision, and that was a front office decision. Are they seeing something we're not? The team can't score and having trouble keeping up with teams' forechecks, and you insert a 6'2", 205-pound bruiser to get the team going? I'm all for toughness, but this call-up is a microcosm of the whole season so far. Nothing against Veal, but come on. What did you think he was going to do in the lineup? He had 15 shifts for 8 minutes and 29 seconds and got 7 minutes in penalties. He had what looked like a stage fight against Olivier, which was whatever. And, his teammates didn't even seem to care. His teammates didn't care because we all knew this was going to happen, and it didn't feel like the fight was even needed. This Bruins team needs speed and scoring, not toughness. Most nights, they try and be the toughest team on the ice, and the teams play don't even care that they're trying to hit them. The Bruins just lost to a team with a lower winning percentage than themselves, on home ice. And it was a blowout. There wasn't more than just a couple shifts where I thought the Bruins had any life in this game. When Brandon Carlo scored the first goal on his own net by sliding into his own goalie and pushing the puck into the net, we should have all known the game was over by then. As I said before, Swayman shouldn't even have started because it was obvious after the Dallas game he needed to sit for a bit. The same Dallas game where the coach decided to leave his goalie in when the team in front of him wasn't playing and let him get just lit up. Korpisalo deserved his start on Monday, and Montgomery made a bad decision. But I think we're used to that, knowing his tenure as head coach. If you don't think there is a mental aspect to playing hockey, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I get it. You know what? They make millions of dollars, but guess what? They still have stress just like you and me. Swayman needed a reset. Heck, the whole damn team needs one. And you know what? We only can do it to the goalies, I guess. At first, Swayman wasn't on the lifeless train, but these last two games, he most certainly is. I can't blame him for all the goals, but at some point, he needs to make a save. Mind you, getting your own teammate to score on you for the very first goal of the game, I'm sure just isn't going to give you some inspiration for the rest of the game. I'm not going to go by goal today because frankly, no one needs to see all of this again. But I think my favorite, you have to be kidding me goal was the second goal when Olivier scored shorthanded on the Bruins. He walks up the ice uncontested and then drives to the net. If you notice, there are 3 Bruins players in front of the net, and not one of them tries to stop him. It was by far the most embarrassing goal scored on the team all year. Montgomery should have called a timeout right after that goal, but as he stated over and over again, he doesn't have any answers, so I guess him talking to the guys would have done nothing. The Bruins are playing like a team that is waiting for the inevitable to happen and truly look like they've given up on their coach. Whether you think it's Montgomery's fault or not, the fact that the team is 32nd in the power play, 24th in the PK, and has the second worst goal differential in the league, unfortunately, that falls on the coach because they look terrible and uninspired out there, night after night. I don't want to hear any more excuses because this is what we get. Game after game, and they say the same things to the media. Sure, they're 8, 9, and 3 and still technically good in the standings, but we all know what we're watching. We all know this team is bad. But again, they say the same thing to the media after the games.
Have you been through anything like this before that you can call on?
Yeah. I think I said it a couple of days ago. I started season 7-1 in Dallas one year. I went 17-4-4 after that. You gotta, it's, there's been a couple of wins where I thought maybe we were turning the page. That hasn't transpired. What you want in the first 20 games, you don't want to be out of the playoff race. We're not out of the playoff race.
What changed that year in Dallas? What was there something? That
You
sparked
know
it?
what? It was a similar game to this. We were down 3-0 in halfway through the second, and we got a goal win at winning the game 5-3. And then we just started going. We started playing on our toes instead of playing on our heels.
Your level of frustration right now, Brad?
Yeah, definitely not happy with the way that things are going. We need to be much better in a lot of areas. Mistakes are going to happen in the game, and we're just kind of compounding them. And it's not acceptable to continue to have the same mistakes and do the same things over and over that aren't bringing us success. So, we need to be a lot better.
Where are you seeing, maybe it's not easy to pin down, but the biggest issues? Is it changing game to game, too? Maybe that's a better way.
I think it starts with our compete level. I think it always starts with your compete level, first and foremost. I think that in this league, you have to have the highest compete every night if you want to be a good team. And, we have it through periods of the game. We have it at times, and when we do, we're really good. But then we get, in these other moments of the game where we think we're a skilled team and we want to play through the middle of the ice, and that's not us. We have to understand what our identity is and play to that. And we've yet to do that, really, for a full 60-minute game.
What do you think your role in that is?
I always want to expand my role and be more of a leader. I try to be a guy who leads by example. That's been a staple for me. But I want to raise my voice more and speak up when needed, and we need that. We need that from everyone. It's not just one guy. It's not the guys wearing the letters. It's those other guys right behind them, and even our younger guys. Like, everyone has a voice in here. That's the culture. That's how it's always been. So I need to do my part, hold myself accountable, be responsible, and be better. As a leader, as a player, we can all be better. We know we can. When you're not winning games, you got to look in the mirror first and foremost, and that's definitely what I'm doing because I know I can be better.
Jeremy, where do you feel your game is at right now?
I think it could only go up from here.
But why do you think it hasn't been at the level you want?
I think there's multiple reasons. I think there's habits that I could be better at. There's experiences that I could use to my advantage, but you know, tough times don't last, tough people do. So that's my mindset. Tomorrow's a new day, and I'm gonna win it.
Do you think missing some of training camp is the reason for this?
I think I've had enough time now to adapt and get back to things. I think the biggest thing that I lost out on was this group, and I'm really trying to engulf just being in a room again and being a leader, and I want my play to speak for that. So I need to step up, and that's
We need to be better at practice. We are talking about practice now. These guys are professionals, and they should know by now how to prepare for a game. And if they don't, they need a coach to come in and kick them in the butt. The country club of the inmates running the asylum has to stop. They need a new voice. It doesn't help that yesterday, when the team is at their low point, Neely goes to the press and brings up old drama because the team had been a soap opera all season. That comes from the top, which is Sweeney and Cam's job to make that go away instead of amplifying it. It was nice to see the Bruins score on the power play last night, and the PP2 didn't look all that bad with Coyle on the bumper, and Brazeau making a nice move to pull the defenders behind the net, leave Coyle wide open. That was truly the only bright spot in the game. In fact, the line of Coyle, Merkulov, and Frederick weren't a total disaster like the other lines. And the defense. I'm not going to call out individuals because there's truly too many to mention. The fact that the Bruins gave up 2 shorthanded goals to Columbus Blue Jackets is embarrassing enough. Swayman wasn't good enough, and they need to ride Korpisalo until Swayman gets his game back. I wish we could do that with the forwards and the defense, but unfortunately, they have to play. But man, they played badly. The shots were 29-29, but watching the game, you wouldn't think so. There was absolutely no pushback from the Bruins last night. After going down 3-0 in the first, we knew there was no coming back. Body language said it all on the bench. They just had their heads down. They looked uninspired. Sure, there's a lot of time to turn this around, and they have the players to do it. But right now, they need a change, and unfortunately, the easy one is to fire the coach. It's not a matter of if they will do it. They're gonna fire Montgomery right now, unfortunately. Look at the post from Bruins media this morning. It says it all because they're all suggesting it's coming now. Will it fix the team? Probably not. But hopefully it'll wake some guys up, and if it doesn't, then start trading guys and see what happens. I want to hear from you, though. What do you think of the Bruins' performance last night? That's a wrap on today's video. To stay up to date on all the news surrounding the Boston Bruins, please subscribe and drop me a like. If news breaks surrounding the Boston Bruins, be sure to check out the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you. And I'll see you next time.